Hi trainers, how's it going? I hope you're having wonderful games. In today's video, we're going through a tier list of all the best items in Pokemon Unite used and favored by the top master players in the world. In Pokemon Unite, you can check what master players are using, and I've gone through every Pokemon to see what items are helping them get to their master's rank. To put all this information together, I've analyzed 63 different master builds. For the question of the day, what is your favorite held item in Pokemon Unite and why? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm Teeds, I've played MOBAs for over 9 years, and my goal is to help you become the very best like no one ever was. A really important disclaimer, this is a general tier list based on what masters seem to favor. Even if an item is ranked low on a tier list, it can still be pretty strong on a specific Pokemon. Tier lists are made to help people understand items a bit better. A lot of tier lists are based on opinions. We have 6 ranks. S tier, which means this item is absolutely must have on most Pokemon. A tier, which means it's a really good item. B tier, which means it's average. C tier, which means it's not the best but not completely bad. D tier, which means there are a lot better items you can build. There's also a situational tier for items that don't really have a place on the tier list, it just really depends on the situation. Let's go through all the items. We'll be going through items as their level 30 stats, which is their full upgrade. Shout out to Cerebi.net, a reputable information website for everything Pokemon related. That's where I got the level 30 stats from. First, we have Aeos Cookie. Aeos Cookie is a scoring item. This item increases your max HP after the Pokemon successfully scores a goal. It also gives you plus 240 health right off the bat. In these master builds I've analyzed, it doesn't seem to be a very common choice or a very popular choice, and I totally understand why. For Aeos Cookie to be effective enough, you have to score goals. The issue is that there are a lot better items that are goal-centric and offer way better stats. You have to be a Pokemon who wants to build up their health and someone who wants or can score goals easily. Through all of the builds I looked at, this was only built once on Venusaur. For this, I'm putting Aeos Cookie in D. Next, we have Assault Vest. When the Pokemon is not in combat, it is granted a shield that nullifies special attack damage equal to 50% of its max HP. It also gives you 270 health and 42 special defense. So this item is great against special based Pokemon, and because you have a shield before you're in combat, it will help you survive against engagements, so this works really nice for Pokemon who are easy to take down. It's a pretty versatile item. Assault Vest was built 11 times on pretty much all roles except for the speedsters. The really nice thing about Assault Vest is generally if you're being engaged on, it will be a move that nullifies that move's special attack damage, meaning their combo will deal less instead of its maximum damage output. It's an item that can really save you. Based on this, I'm placing Assault Vest in A tier. It's a pretty good item and can also really help you against Pokemon like Gengar, who is incredibly strong at the moment. Next is Attack Weight. When a Pokemon scores a goal, its attack increases by 12. It will also give you 18 attack. So this item has been built 0 times in the 63 builds I'm looking at. I personally don't think it's a bad item, but the problem with the scoring items is that the item strongly depends on if you score or not. There are a lot of other items that give you its strongest stats right away, so it is a bit of a gamble, especially at lower ranks, to build this item. If you're falling behind and your team is struggling to push, this item won't help very much at all, especially since now you have an item that's not at its full potential, making defending even harder. Based on this, I'm going to place this in C. I don't think it's horrible, just this item doesn't feel as reliable as others. Next is Buddy Barrier. When the Pokemon uses its Unite move, the Pokemon and the nearby ally Pokemon with the lowest health are each granted a shield equal to 40% of their max HP. This item also gives you 600 HP as well on top of that, a huge chunk of health. Buddy Barrier is one of those items I really like. I feel that it really helps even though the passive is not used as often as others, because it does rely on you using your Unite move. It still feels really impactful when in fights with multiple enemies. I also really enjoy it on Pokemon who are close ranged as well, because sometimes Unite moves can put you in a bad spot. It has the potential to save you and another ally, which can really turn the fight around. This item was built 10 times on Pokemon such as Snorlax, Eldegoss, Cinderace, and Greninja, so it's a very versatile item that benefits different roles. Based on this, I'm placing Buddy Barrier in A. Next is Energy Amplifier. After the Pokemon uses its Unite move, the damage the Pokemon deals is increased by 21% for a short time. Your Unite move charge rate is increased to 21%. You also have cooldown reduction for your moves, meaning that your moves will be up quicker. In the master builds I looked at, this item was built 5 times. The thing about Energy Amplifier, I feel that it is very situational since it relies on your Unite move. To me, it's a preference playstyle kind of item. The damage increase is huge at level 30 after using your Unite move. I'd place Energy Amplifier in situational. Even though Buddy Barrier is also an item that relies on your Unite move, the passive of Buddy Barrier seems stronger to me because of the survivability. So I'm placing Energy Amplifier in situational. Next is XP Share. While the Pokemon has the fewest XP points on its team, it gains 4 XP points per second. However, it will no longer receive shared XP points when its teammates defeat wild Pokemon. You will also get 240 health and 150 movement speed. XP Share has been built 3 times, and all of this was on Eldegoss. Judging from this, it seems that XP Share is a core item on Eldegoss. Even though this item was not built in most of the top builds by masters for each individual Pokemon, I think XP Share is a preference and playstyle and mainly used by supporters and defenders. This one to me seems like one you need to communicate with your team because it's easy to have a teammate fall behind, making the passive useless for you. I'm going to place this in a situational tier. It's kind of a strange item in my opinion because you can nullify its passive once you're not the lowest leveled Pokemon anymore, which can likely happen. Another issue is if you and another teammate have the same item, one of you would just not be able to reap its benefits, so definitely a very situational item that needs communication. The next item is Floatstone. This item increases your movement speed by 10% when the Pokemon is not in combat, gain 24 attack and 120 movement speed. Floatstone is one of my favorite items. It's a very versatile item that can be built on many different Pokemon. The movement speed is fantastic for rotations and chasing. This item was built 20 times, a very popular item choice for speedsters as well. Based on this, I'm placing Floatstone in S tier. The next item is Focus Band. When the Pokemon drops low health each second for 3 seconds, it recovers 14% of the health it had lost. The item also gives you 30 of each special defense and normal defense. This item has been built 17 times, mostly on defenders and supporters, but a lot of Pokemon roles tend to use this, so it's very versatile. I can see why it can keep you in the fights longer, you get back into fights quicker, and it also gives you the extra edge when the heal kicks in and you're low. Based on this, Focus Band seems to be an A tier to an S tier, so I'm not really sure to place it, but I'm going to put it in A tier for now. The next item is Leftovers. When the Pokemon is not in combat, it recovers 2% of its max health every second. This item also gives you 240 health and 9 health recovery. This item was only built twice and it's by 2 different master players, one who mains Slowbro and the other who mains Crustle. Seems like it's not the most preferred item or the best for defenders or supporters. Doesn't seem very niche either for any other role. The problem with Leftovers is that it does rely on you to not be in combat, and I feel with how fast-paced Pokemon Unite is, this item is kind of slow for the game speed. Based on this, I'm going to place Leftovers in D. Next is Muscle Band. When basic attacks hit, the damage is increased by 3% of the enemy's opposing health. This item also gives you 15 attack and 7.5 attack speed. Muscle Band is one of my favorite items. As a jungle main, I love running this item. This item was in 37 builds. It's a super strong item that can be used both on special and normal attack base, since all basic attacks in Pokemon Unite are normal base. The attack speed is really nice, especially because every Pokemon has a boosted attack that can be very strong, and damage is based on the enemy's health. So to me, this item is a hard S tier for damage builds and playstyles. Next item is Rocky Helmet. When a Pokemon receives a certain amount of damage, damage is dealt to nearby enemy Pokemon equals to 5% of those Pokemon's maximum health. This item also gives you 240 health and 42 defense. Rocky Helmet was built 6 times, and the number seems low because this item is usually used on defenders. Of course, there are some niche builds by master players, but generally it's a defender item in my opinion. This item is great because it reflects damage at a certain threshold, which helps taking down those hard damaging enemies. The physical defense is also really nice since there are a lot of high damaging physical Pokemon. From the builds I'm looking at, it doesn't seem to be a staple item, but I do think it's generally a good defense item. So I think Rocky Helmet is gonna go into the B tier. The next item is Scope Lens. Increases the damage of basic attack critical hits. The higher the Pokemon's attack, the more the damage increases. You will also get 6% critical hit rate and 12% critical hit damage. Scope Lens was built 17 times, so it's a pretty popular item. It's one of my favorite items to use, especially as an Absol main. This item is pretty strong by itself, and especially with the right build, so the more attack you have, the stronger this item will be. Based on this, I'm placing Scope Lens in S tier. Next is Score Shield. While the Pokemon is attempting to score a goal, it is granted a shield equal to 10% of its maximum health, and the goals cannot be interrupted while it's shielded. This item also gives you 450 HP. This item was only built twice, but in these builds it was pretty niche. The issue that I have with Score Shield is that you'll only have this benefit when you have the shield, which is based on 10% of your max HP. This item only really makes sense at max rank, but I don't think it's worth investing into while there are a lot better items in the game at the moment. To me, this item can come in clutch and it's nice, but I don't think it's a staple item or anything like that. Usually defenders would build this item, but to me, defenders' jobs is to assist their allies in team fights and helping them get scores in the goal zones. Based on this, Score Shield seems to be in D tier. It's more of a clutch item to me. But when it works, it really works well. The next item is Shell Bell. When the Pokemon hits the enemy with a move, it recovers a minimum of 75 health. The higher the Pokemon's special attack, the more health it recovers. It also gives you 24 special attack and 4.5% cooldown reduction. This item was built 25 times. It's one of my core items on the Pokemon I play. This item gives you damage, health recovery, and a cooldown reduction, which will increase your damage output even more. Not a very hard to understand item, it's pretty strong, so definitely an S tier item that is built on many different Pokemon. Next is special attack specs. When the Pokemon scores a goal, its special attack is increased by 16, also gives you 24 special attack. This item was only built 3 times, it's just the same as attack weight, but for special attack based Pokemon, it relies on getting goals to reap the benefits of the passive, which obviously means it's not consistent. You have to build up to it, and there is a chance that you may not be able to do that if your team is struggling. Pretty much the same reasoning as attack weight. Based on this, it's a C with attack weight. The last item is Wise Glasses. Increases special attack by 7%, and this item gives you 39 special attack. This item was built 18 times, so definitely a very popular item. I also use this item a lot. It's one of my other cores for special attack offensive Pokemon I use. It's just straight up damage. You're going to increase your special attack damage with this item, and it's pretty versatile as well. So for Wise Glasses, it's a definite S tier for me as well. So here we have the end of the tier list based on what master players are building. It's great to have a guideline on what seems to be the most viable items at the moment. It's also really important to consider that some items, even if they're low on the tier list, can be really good on specific Pokemon or for your team or for your playstyle. This is just a general tier list based on what seems to be most favored by master players. Let me know in the comments down below what your favorite item to use is in Pokemon Unite. My favorites are Float Zone and Scope Lens, but that's because I just play Absol a ton. I'm also going to be working on role guides because I figured I should probably get all the beginner stuff out first before I focus on the in-depth information. So yeah, if that interests you, feel free to subscribe and click the bell. Like the video if you found this helpful. Thank you so much as always for watching, trainers. Bye!